New fire effects, ancient puzzles, and a character with more depth than we've let on. Hello archaeologists and welcome to another weekly excavation. This week the ruins got a little more alive, the puzzle pieces are starting to fall into place, and we have something to share about one of our characters that we've been keeping close to our chest. A lot to get through. Let's dig in. Over on the art side, Gonçalo has been working on puzzle elements this week. Here's what he has to say. This will be your grid where the statues are dragged along for puzzle solving. It's still a work in progress, as I've yet to conceptualize the design elements that will be on each tile. The main inspiration is the royal game of Ur, where I've been taking some of its decorative design into account. Also in art, Nuno has two updates this week. First, a completely reworked fire effect. Me and Gonçalo haven't been very satisfied with how the previous fire effect behaved. We were aiming for more naturalistic flames that interacted with the player's movement. The creation process took the following steps. Number 1. I researched some articles and tutorials about fire effects. Eventually, I found stylized fire in Unity VFX graph tutorial from our fellow Portuguese dev Gabriela Aguiar. I took a lot of inspiration from this. Number 2. I created a simple loop VFX graph that already comes with a bokeh texture and a color gradient. This provided a great foundation to start the flame. Number 3. After some work, I replicated Gabriel's version, but it wasn't matching the buried within clay look of shell shading. To address this, I filtered the particles in the shader graph with the clamped gradient. Number 4. Still, a spark was missing in the flame. I traced my steps back and decided to combine the bokeh flames to strengthen the flame heart, while tapering sooner to keep those jagged edges. Number 5. Finally, I had applied the new flame to the player's torch, but there was another problem. I was burning the player's face and leaving giant flame trails. To address this, I decided to kill any particle that wandered too far from the source with a kill shape. This way, I achieved the dimming effect when the torch is moving too fast. Number 6. To conclude, I polished everything and applied it to the wall torches. For his second update, Nuno also modeled another one of Gonçalo's column designs. It took more of the usual extrudes, scaling, and inserts. The dark inserts were unwrapped so that they could hold a script texture for some ancient inscription. In programming, João spent the week improving existing systems. Here's what he has to say. So this week I don't have anything really new to show you, as I've been focusing on improvements to some existing gameplay features, like the beam puzzle system, where I implemented some minor bug fixes. The beams going through walls they shouldn't, and the camera swapper getting confused about which camera to swap to when the interaction system is disabled. I also implemented a dedicated camera for the beam source, so it feels better to aim. Narrative-wise, I have an update on Sophia, and something I didn't mention last week. As you may have noticed by last week's update, I've been writing the dialogue for the NPC we'll have in the beta prototype. What I didn't tell you about this very important character is that she's autistic. For that reason, I've been studying a lot on how to write the character so that she's not only interesting but also displays some of her autistic traits. This week in particular, I've sent a dialogue for a revision to my best friend Sophia, who's also autistic, and as you may have noticed, one of the people which the character is loosely based off. This extra step allows me to get a direct opinion from someone who has first-hand experience with dealing with autism in the day-to-day basis and the struggles, traits and insights that come with that. One final note I'd like to add is that our character Sophia is autistic, yes, but that's not all there is to say about her. Like everyone else, she's also a person with interests, hobbies, likes and dislikes, so I'm making sure to create a character that can not only give some representation to the neurodivergent folks, but is also a cool, interesting and complex character all in all. In design, Diogo has been busy setting up the NPC for the game. In his words, "You've seen Maria talk about Sophia, the NPC you'll meet in the next version of the game. However, because we can't kill our 3D artist with work, for now the NPC will be out of sight and you'll talk with her through cracks in the wall." This does simplify our artwork a bit, but there is still a ton we have to do for her. For starters, we still have to design all interactions and dialogue, same as it would be if she was physically present. Then, we have to handle her progress through the game, and she won't stay still in the same place. For this, we use state machines that need to be informed of changes in the game, and to enact their own changes as well. Finally, we have design problems to solve. A crack in the wall draws the player's attention much less than a proper gal, so we need to make sure players will not miss her. In our internal tests, testers missed her a lot, and in those tests the crack was a green cube in the middle of a grey room. In the game with proper model and textures, visually, it will be much harder to notice. How we solve these issues will be left for a future update. And that's all for this week. Things are coming together fast, and we couldn't be more excited about where Buried Within Clay is heading. If you want to be a part of the conversation, join our Discord through the link below. A like and a subscribe also helps more than you think. And as always, don't forget, an archaeologist never misses an expedition. See you next week!